In October 2013, the Diplomatic Conference for the Adoption and the Signature of the Minamata Convention on Mercury was held in Kumamoto City and Minamata City. The Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Fumio Kishida, signed the convention for Japan. On the first day of the diplomatic conference, the participants from all over the world visited Minamata City to learn about the history of the Minamata disease and the present condition of the city, known as a model environment city in Japan. The participants visited the Minamata Disease Municipal Museum, and they presented flowers to the Minamata Disease Memorial Monument and planted trees. They had opportunity to communicate with the local citizens and victims of Minamata disease, and reaffirmed the significance that the diplomatic conference was convened in Minamata. Having experienced massive damage due to Minamata disease, Japan has been taking the leading role during intergovernmental negotiations on the Minamata Convention and the global initiatives regarding mercury issues. In January 2011, Japan hosted the second session of the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee to prepare a global legally binding instrument on mercury, INC2, in Chiba Prefecture. During the fifth session of the INC, held in Geneva in January 2013, the government of Japan proposed to host the diplomatic conference and relevant meetings in Kumamoto City and Minamata City. Responding to this proposal, the INC chair proposed to name the convention as Minamata Convention on Mercury, which was accepted in consensus. During the diplomatic conference, as well as at INC2, storytellers of Minamata disease gave speeches about their experiences. Listening to their moving stories, the international community reaffirmed that the tragedy must not be repeated. The Ministry of the Environment, Japan takes a leading role in the area of waste management of the UNEP Global Mercury Partnership. Japan is committed to accelerate the process to environmentally sound mercury waste management in collaboration with other countries, international organizations, and NGOs worldwide. Then Minister of the Environment of Japan, Mr. Nobuteru Ishihara, chaired the diplomatic conference. Japan expressed its readiness to cooperate with the international community, especially with the developing countries, for their environmentally sound mercury management. Minister Ishihara also announced in his speech that Japan will cooperate with the developing countries on national inventory development, legal frameworks, and capacity building in order to accelerate the early entry into force of the convention. Prime Minister Shinzo Abe committed the amount of $2 billion for the assistance of developing countries to tackle environmental pollution in the next 3 years.
グローバルなマーキュリーミニマムの環境を私たちの世代で築くため、私は日本が持つ技術と経験を今までにも増して世界に提供すべきだと考えました。
Now let's take a look at the technologies for global mercury reduction, to which Japan could and would contribute. Japanese industries have made continuous efforts to minimize mercury usage through the lifetime of products, from their production to disposal. Battery is one of these commodity products that contain mercury. Japan began the research for mercury-free battery as early as 1980s, responding to the social concern about mercury emission from municipal waste incineration plants. Manganese batteries and alkaline batteries became mercury-free in the early 1990s, and the production of mercury cells ceased at the end of 1995. Overseas factories of Japanese battery manufacturers play the principal role for the production of the mercury-free battery. The amount of mercury used for domestic battery production was approximately 170 tons per year in the late 1980s. It has been since reduced to as little as 1 ton per year, limiting its usage to only a few types of button cells. Consumers drop spent button cells in the collection boxes at home appliance stores for recycling. Collected button cells containing mercury, together with some imported dry cells with mercury, are properly treated by a specialized waste treatment firm. First, collected batteries are sorted by their type and size. Then, sorted batteries are roasted at 600 to 800 degrees Celsius, and the mercury vaporizes in this process. Vaporized mercury is cooled in a condenser tower and is recovered as liquid mercury. Recovered mercury is highly purified and is used for mercury-added products such as fluorescent lamps, laboratory reagents, and others. Fluorescent lamps are another commodity products containing mercury. In principle, a small quantity of mercury is essential for light emission of fluorescent lamps. Lamp manufacturers in Japan have developed technologies for reducing the amount of mercury in fluorescent lamps. In the 1970s, the average amount of mercury in one lamp was 50 milligrams, but it has been reduced to around 7 milligrams by 2007. The minimum requirement of mercury differs by the characteristics of each lamp. Manufacturers are developing technologies to inject a precise amount of mercury needed in lamps. Some technologies using mercury alloy have successfully avoided the excessive injection of mercury. Used fluorescent lamps from households are collected by municipal governments. Those from industries are collected by industrial waste service providers. Some parts of these lamps are recycled. Some companies offer lamp leasing services to other companies, which make the recycling system more efficient. Here is an example of a recycling process that completely avoids the mercury release to the environment. Unbroken fluorescent lamps are sorted by their shape, i.e., straight, circular, or compact types. Sorted lamps are cut by processors matching to each shape in a sealed space. Fluorescent phosphor powder containing mercury is then collected. Collected fluorescent phosphor powder is heated to between 400 and 500 degrees Celsius, and the vaporized mercury undergoes indirect cooling and is recovered as liquid mercury. Recovered mercury is used for fluorescent lamps and other mercury-added products. The glass is used as glass wool. The cap is used as raw material for iron, aluminum, or plastic, and the fluorescent phosphor powder is recycled. LED lights are a mercury-free alternative to fluorescent lamps. Japan is promoting a low-carbon growth, and one of the activities undertaken in the residential sector is 100% replacement to highly efficient lightings, e.g. LED, in stock bases by 2030. Once achieved this policy, it will also benefit the significant reduction of mercury in lighting equipment, as the majority of lighting fixtures for general purpose will be substituted by LED. In Japan, the chlor-alkali industry used to use mercury in its process. After Minamata Disease, Japan's chlor-alkali industry has developed an alternative technology for the production of sodium hydroxide using ion exchange membrane process. The ion exchange membrane process has been developed as one of the technologies representing Japan. It has been used in commercial manufacturing since 1979, and it completely replaced the previous process by 1999. The ion exchange membrane process offers high product quality and low energy consumption, and has been exported globally. Japan has successfully reduced its mercury usages in processes and mercury-added products and advanced recycling of waste mercury-added products. Japan plans to continue its assistance to the international community in the reduction of mercury-related environmental pollutions and alleviation of mercury risks to human health. Anyone interested in Japanese mercury reduction technologies or frameworks for assistance, please contact the Environmental Health and Safety Division, the Ministry of the Environment, Japan.